All right, guys. So real quick, I want to offer you up an alternate count on Bitcoin that, as I took it down to an even smaller time frame, there's a possible entry here that's setting up that may be fairly soon. I'm going to take this off and show you how I got there. So when on the last video. We were looking at this. I'm on a 15-minute here. I'm on Kraken. And you can see that we've got the potential here now for this correction to have gone to an A, B, and a C. I'm going to take the wave off there just because otherwise it's going to get hard to see. Okay, so we've got a potential A, B, C here. Now we have what we're looking for is a 3-3-5. So that would be the ideal for us. So we've got this potential setting up. So I've got to go, again, it's waves within waves. So I need to show you this because this could be playing right here. So now how do I get there? So I'm going to blow that up so you can see it a little bit better. Okay, so we have the potential of this A wave being complete by this ABC. I'm going to change let me change that degree so it makes more sense. And I'll put that in a different color. Okay, so the reason I'm adding this as an alternate count is because ideally we'd want the C wave to be down here at a new low. But take note here, because, as I will often remind you, we're looking for 3s and 5s. So we can see in this wave here, we can see an A, B, and a C wave here to complete this B wave. Now I've got to take that to a smaller degree. I know it gets tricky, but we're trying to micro tune this. Now take note here that we get a very clear, surprisingly clear 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. To complete that C wave. So we may very well have a C that's complete, and what we're doing now is putting in, so that would give us somewhat of an unusual pattern here. Since we've got that 5 wave, right, and that completes the larger A, let me show it to you. Put the wave on it so this makes sense. In an extreme bull market like this, this is definitely a contender. Since we've got 3, 3, I got to bring it down here, 3, 3, 5. Now take note of this. Where do we retrace to? If I go to my low here, we go right into that little pocket that I've shown you 100 times between the 618 and the 65, which now sets up the possibility that what we have here is a 1-2 unfolding as we sit here. So we know we've got, from the other video, we know we've got targets up at a little over 6,000. So looking for an entry, and again, this is really going micro on this. For a 2 wave, you've got well, get that off here. What do I want? I want the box. So you've got, if you want to be very tight on the risk, you could be a buyer at the 50. Now, take note here, what we'd be looking for is 3 waves here, right? So you could even go down to a smaller time frame to really tune this. So you could be a buyer at the 50, a stop on the other side of the 65. So you're talking about an entry at 56.60-ish and a stop at 56.18. So pretty reasonable stop. You want to give it a little more room because we know a wave 2 can go as deep as 786. It can go a little further, but we're now operating under the assumption that this is our low of this 5-wave structure. So the absolute invalidation of this count is a break here of this low. So you want to give it a little bit more room. You can be a buyer at the 50. We'd want to see the market stall there. Buyer at the 50 with a stop under the 786, which happens to line up with the prior 50 swing. So now we're talking about, buyer at 56.60-ish and a stop down here at 55.81. So you got to give it a little bit more room. But, since so many people are looking for a way to get in, when I saw that, it's a valid alternate count, right? And it's unusual, but the market is so strong that because of this 5-wave subdivision, that's a contender. Now, we may end up in some sort of a triangle here as the market stalls. I mean, this could be A, B, C, D. Could, again, the Elliott labeling, it's almost what it ends up being isn't as important to us as in terms of where we can evaluate an entry point based on if we just think about 3s and 5s. So here's the first A wave. There's a 3 wave into the B wave. Now take note of this, that wave, if I swing from low, right, goes just shy of the 786. So we get a clean ABC here. And then this 5 wave structure into the 618 window, that little pocket, is just so good that there's a really strong possibility that this has been a truncated C wave, that we aren't going to go to new lows. And then there's an opportunity to get long here. I'm going to watch that as well. I think that's a reasonable place to be looking to get long. So, again, if you were long here at 50, call it 56.60. We've got targets up above. Recall from 56.60, we've got targets up here at 6,010. 56.60 to 6,010, that's not a bad little trade, right? So that's a very micro analysis of it. I went down to the 5-minute to carve that out. So, but that's a real contender, and as you can see, possibly you've got a little 3 wave setting up here that might offer opportunity to get long, and invalidation would be a break of this swing low. So something to consider for that last little push up. If you're comfortable trading off of those smaller time frames, knowing that if you are stopped out, the stop is reasonably small, and there will be opportunity to reevaluate this, because if we end up in some sort of a triangle, which wouldn't be surprising, that it will just give us more evidence, more clues, and we can look for potentially the opportunity much lower here at the larger 50%, and the target off of, now you can see this target here. So if we go from this swing low, from the absolute high to this swing low, we stay inside the 786. Here's our negative 23 target down here, lines up perfectly with the 50%. Let me blow it up so you can see it. You see that? Right, so that would be our ideal. That would be the ideal, right? So this is, if it's not going to give us the deeper retracement, that's a place to get in. If you're willing to wait, recognizing that it may not give it to us, this is a really strong entry right here. If we're going to get that depth down to 53.50, ideal spot to be a buyer. Algo target, profit target, and algo entry. So, this is an option for you. If we take a little heat there or take a stop, that's just part of trading. Because always just a potential roadmap. I'm just giving you a possibility here on the assumption that what we're setting up now is this: 1, 2, 3, 4, going up for the 5. Whoop, going up for the 5. Right, with a target of 6,010. So it all lines up rather nicely, right? So that's why I want to take the time to offer you up just an alternate count, something to watch for. Okay, guys, back to you later.